We experience electricity as raw, violent power. Over the last 2 centuries, we have isolated that violence, contained it, and forced it into straight lines. The Industrial Revolution was built on harnessing this behavior at a massive scale. We turned a wild force into the engine of modern civilization. This is James Clerk Maxwell. In 1865, he formalized the Mathematical Instruction Manual for Electromagnetism. His equations gave us the exact rules for how electric and magnetic fields interact. Classical physics treats electric current as a flow of tiny particles. Instruments like this 19th century resistance box are designed around that logic, treating electrical resistance as a physical hurdle that those particles must overcome to keep moving. We have mastered the predictable behavior of electricity as a reliable utility. Yet, despite this engineering triumph, we remain blind to its true source. A conceptual gap remains after 200 years of study. Both classical and quantum models calculate electric charge with flawless precision, but neither framework provides a physical definition of what a charge is. In modern physics, charge operates as an abstract mathematical placeholder. It is a value plugged into an equation rather than a tangible physical reality. Independent researcher Anton Sergeyevich Pankratov addresses this gap with the observer-dependent theory of everything, or ODTO. Pankratov's framework integrates the observer into the physical system. In this model, the act of actualizing a physical state, what we call observation, requires a directional movement. When that movement becomes a coherent, synchronized flow across a material, our instruments register it as electric current. Electricity is the primary signature of reality observing itself. Understanding this identity requires looking at the core unit of Pankratov's framework, the triadic architecture. ODTO argues a self-consistent reality requires 3 components. There's the observer, the operator, the act of observing, and the actualized configuration, the observable. These 3 components form a continuous cycle. The observer creates the observed, which informs the observer, creating a strange loop. Within this geometry, electric charge is redefined as the orientation of action within this continuous cycle. The values map directly to the structure. Forward actualization is a -1 charge. Reverse action is +1. The static observer position holds a value of 0. Charge is simply the direction of traffic on the structural loop of existence. If charge is orientation within a loop, then electric current must also be redefined. Current is a coherent, synchronized wave. It is the displacement of the observation operator, occurring when multiple observation cycles sync up and shift across space. Because constants like pi are infinite, the loop never closes perfectly. Missing its starting point, each cycle creates a spiraling geometric gap. The loop iterates infinitely, pushing forward. This forward momentum creates a straight gradient, while the spin creates vortical rings, electric and magnetic fields. Classical tools like this early galvanometer measure these fields. Under ODTOE, these instruments measure the vortical spin of the observation loop. Every magnetic field and every electric spark is the physical exhaust of reality perpetually trying and failing to perfectly observe itself. Controlling this physical manifestation of observation loops requires a specific engineering architecture. Pankratov proposes a device of a completely new type, the Coherent Conductivity Resonator, or CCR, designed to generate current without an external voltage source. The physical architecture is highly specific. 3 terahertz radiators point directly at a central copper conductor. Their spacing follows the triadic architecture, separated by exactly 137.2 degrees and 111.4 degrees, matching the geometric requirements of the loop. The radiators are tuned to a specific resonance frequency. Their purpose is to align the chaotic, randomly oriented spiral gaps inside the copper atoms, forcing them into perfect synchronization. The CCR synchronizes these observation loops to point in a single direction, creating a directed flow within the material. Each iteration of these aligned strange loops generates an elementary quantum of directed action. This organization of reality's observation flux manifests physically as a measurable, spontaneous electric current. This aligns with historical anomalies. In the 1970s, at the Pulkovo Observatory, astronomer Nikolai Kozyrev demonstrated that a resistor's conductivity could change when targeted at the true position of a star. Observation directly altered the electrical state. These results do not imply a perpetual motion machine, and the system does not create energy out of nothing. The energy comes from the iterative process that creates reality. It operates at a level prior to the physical configurations governed by the laws of thermodynamics. If the structural math of ODTOE is correct, we are moving past merely witnessing the universe. We are learning to mechanically harvest the power of observation itself.